Inflation may be causing a pinch in the purse, but singles are still finding a little extra for those dating apps. What does this mean for the future of romance? And can it help you learn English in just 15 minutes? Find out right now on English News Worth Talking About. Hello and welcome to All About English. This is English News Worth Talking About. I am Dennis Wilborn, the former sailor turned entrepreneur, English coach, and founder of All About English. If you have just got to know what it's all about, then you are in the right place. On this show, I break down some of the most popular news stories chosen by my clients to help you reach your English learning goals faster. And you can join me Monday and Friday for a fresh look at the news in English and why it's worth talking about. And you might as well stick around and find out how you can connect and participate with the show. You'll want to stay to the end for this one. It's something new I'm trying out. All right. Today is November 21st. 21st? Wow, I can't even speak straight today. Today is November 21st. 2022. And once again, we get our article from ngu.com, which again is a great place for thousands of free resources made just for English learners, including the news. Now, before we get started, be sure to subscribe and don't forget, and please do not be apathetic as you press the like button to show your support. And if you're feeling very generous, you can also buy me a cup of coffee at the link in the description. And don't forget to stay until the end for the idiom of the week and find out how you can be more involved with the show. Today, we are tackling the very, very serious subject of dating and relationships. So glad I'm married. I don't have to worry about that. Let's see what it's all about. Here we go. Well, what do we have? More people paying to use Tinder in 2022. What the heck is Tinder? Tinder, if you don't know, Tinder is a dating app, and apparently more people are using Tinder in 2022 than ever before. This was chosen by several of my clients. Surprisingly enough, all the married ones. Wonder what that's about. Anyway, I'm not sure why this is listed as a science and technology article, but other than it's an app, and so therefore technology. But in some cases, I would almost call this a business article. So pay attention. While the vocabulary is mostly related to dating, there is vocabulary in the article that is related to business. So you'll want to pay attention to that when you're reading some of this stuff. I'll see if I can point some out to you. All right, let's jump into this vocabulary. Date. If you don't know what a date is, let me tell you. A date is, in this case, a verb. Okay. It is to spend time with someone you are or may soon be in a romantic relationship with, or also to have a romantic relationship with someone. So you can use date as a noun, like to go on a date, or you could use date as, I have a date. Well, no, that would be a noun as well. Susie and I will be dating come next week or something like that. So yeah, Kevin dated the girl from Senegal for 2 months. There you go. There's a good good use of it as a verb. It's often used as a noun and a verb interchangeably. So, I get a little confused sometimes. We have been dating for just over 6 months. Wow. Why haven't you put a ring on it yet? Come on, man. You guys are moving too slow. All right. Disappointing. Disappointing. There's a good adjective, as many dates are. Disappointing. Not as good as one had hoped for or expected. Like when you go see a movie, in this case, I thought the ending of the movie was a bit disappointing. I feel that way about a lot of movies these days. That's just really disappointing. Don't confuse disappointing with disappointed. Disappointed. I was disappointed. Disappointed is a past tense of disappoint. Disappointing is an adjective to describe that thing that you hoped was going to be good, but it just didn't get to the good part. All right. Revenue for you. Revenue, a noun, money that a government or organization earns. Huh. I'm not sure if I like that definition. Money that a government now a money that an organization earns. The government doesn't earn anything. The last I checked, they take your money in the form of taxes by force. You don't get a choice. They don't earn it. They just take it. Revenues for the airline industry. Revenues for the airline industry are down this year. Of course they are, because they closed down the airports and closed down the flights for a long time. And it's very hard to travel these days. Next up, feature. Feature, an important quality of something. This is also a noun, an important quality of something. The best feature on my new car is the heated seats. Oftentimes you hear about a new product and you want to know what all the features are, especially when it comes to technology, iPhones, Androids, all that stuff. You want to know what the new features are. Does it have a new phone? How about a new camera? Excuse me. Dramatically, dramatically. There's an adverb. Notice most adverbs end with ly. Not all words that end with ly are adverbs, and not all adverbs end with ly. Just most of them do. Now, dramatically, by a large amount, extent, etc. In the exciting, or in an exciting or impressive way. So an adverb describes the way something is done. So it describes a verb. Changes in the exchange rate can dramatically affect companies that trade internationally. Affect, dramatically affect. I just did a short about the difference between affect and effect. They both sound the same. Dramatically affect. So affect is the verb, and it is being affected dramatically. All right. Changes in the exchange rate can dramatically affect companies that trade internationally. This is a fact, and I think everybody's being made aware of that by things that have been going on recently in the markets, especially in the exchange markets. Let's jump into this article before we waste too much more time. Okay, more people paying to use Tinder in 2022. Wonder why there would be more people. So again, like I said, let's just jump into it. Many people across the world have been looking for ways to save money in 2022, but it looks like some are making sure they have a little left over for dating apps. Dating apps. That's right. While large companies like Amazon and Meta have had a few disappointing months. Yeah, if you're trading stocks, you definitely know that. Tinder, one of the world's most popular dating apps, has seen an increase in users who are paying for the service. Now, that was surprising to me. Of course, I haven't been on the dating scene for quite a while, but wow, people paying for Tinder. All right, Match Group. That's the company that owns Tinder and other dating apps like Hinge and Pairs. Hinge and Pairs? I have no idea what that means, but all right. They saw Match Group saw its total revenue growth. Let me restart that. Match Group saw its total revenue grow in the 3 months to the end of September 2022. Wow. In the 3 months coming up to the end of September 2022, which is typically the end of the quarter, they saw its revenue grow. A total, wow, that's amazing. So it's making some money. And it said that this was helped by a 7% increase in the number of people paying to use Tinder. Wow. The app on which people swipe to the right, was that right? Right. On their screen when they see someone that they like can be used for free, but there are options to pay for extra features. I can't imagine. Some of these paid for options allow users to see who has liked, for example, or meet users in locations other than the one they live. Actually, I did a little research, and what that means, it's a very strangely worded sentence. It does meet users in locations other than where they live. I guess in order to take Tinder with you when you travel, you have to pay for this extra option. It allows you to meet people in other locations from around the world, wherever Tinder is available. Okay, so Tinder began in 2012 as a company. According to the company, is available in 190 countries, and in more than 40 languages. So, hey, I guess that's a nice feature if you like to travel a lot. It says the app has been downloaded more than 340 million times, but the company is not expecting more growth in 2022 as the global economic situation continues to have an impact on people's spending. That is a fact. I wonder how long people are going to keep paying for this little app. In Japan, where Tinder is the second most popular dating app after Pairs, Match Group said that growth has slowed dramatically since 2019 because of the coronavirus pandemic. Yeah, maybe somebody can tell me this one. Why is it that everybody in Japan is really more and more worried about the coronavirus pandemic, even though there are other people in the world who are kind of pulling back, opening up, and doing restrictions? If you're in Japan, I would love to know the answer to that one. Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Uh, okay, so this app, interestingly enough, is Tinder. Tinder is known in the United States anyway as a hookup app. We don't have the word hookup included in this article, but hookup is a little bonus vocabulary for you. A hookup is when two people get together for adult activities. Let's just say that. Let's just leave it at that. Two people get together for adult activities. All right. So I am changing my format. I used to talk about what we learned today. You know what? It's about time we do something I should have started with from the very beginning. I'm always telling people to question everything. So let's start questioning these articles. And first of all, I'm curious. What are your thoughts about the increase in Tinder users these days? Not just Tinder users, but why do you think people are paying for it? Honestly, I'm a bit flabbergasted, other than unless it's just harder to find a date, or people find it easier to log in and pay to meet people. I really, I mean, well, I've got a few ideas, but I don't, I might get kicked off of YouTube if I share them. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Leave some comments down below. Number two. Do you expect that dating apps will continue growing over the next few decades? Me personally, I'm really on the fence about this one. I'm not sure. On one side, I'd say, yeah, people still value the connection between each other, and it's getting harder and harder to meet in real life. Uh, because of things like government shutdowns, and you can't go to your favorite restaurant. Companies going out of business. If you're worried about COVID-19 and all the other things, so do do you expect that the apps will continue growing? Yeah, I'd say that probably they will, because there's fewer and fewer opportunities for people who are single to meet, and people still want connection. Now, do they want to get married and have children like they should, in order to keep the population, alive and keep the culture alive? I don't know. Let me know what you think. And finally, what is the best bit of relationship advice you have ever heard? This is a good question. I think it's a good question. Uh, we all have people in our lives who we trust to give us advice about things. For me, the best advice I received was from my father. uh my father, he's such a great guy. He's been around for 71 years, and he's been giving me advice for 46 of them. And one of the last bits of relationship advice that he gave me was before I got married to my wife. He actually pulled my wife and I together, and he said, you should always strive to help each other be better. And I thought about that. I said, that's one of the best pieces of advice. If you're with a person who doesn't help you become a better version of yourself, if you not I'm not saying that they should force you or push you to become something that you're not. I'm saying you should be with a person who encourages you to be a better version of you, to get better all the time. And you should be doing the same for the other person without feeling like you're pushing or nagging and things like that. If you can find a person like that, that right there is a keeper in my book. So all right, I'm trying something a little bit new here with this question and answer things. And I would love for you to get involved with the community here. So feel free to send me a comment down below or in the DM, send me a DM and share your answer to any one of these questions. Or, make your own questions if you have your own. You can write your answer, or if you want, you can record a short comment in the DMs and send it in a quiet place. You can send it to the email that's in the channel. And I will do my best. If it qualifies, or if it's if I can understand it and hear it, I'll begin sharing some of the best answers that I get at the end of each episode. And if you're looking for another way to practice your English besides just doing that, you can also reach out to me for a one-on-one coaching session or a group class at Amazing Talker. You can get some practice and personalized guidance. That link is in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know what you like best. And remember to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Let's move on to my favorite, the idiom of the week. Actually, well, maybe we'll do an idiom on Friday too, but I don't know. Beggars can't be choosers. Beggars can't be choosers. I like this one because, I don't know, it makes me think of, you're kind of begging for a date on this Tinder app. But at the same time, you're trying to choose who you're going with. Honestly, majority of people who use Tinder, I didn't mention this before, majority of people who use it are men. Majority of people who pay for it are men, and men outnumber women on Tinder by about 2-1. So in this case, the beggars on Tinder really probably can't be choosers in this case if the beggars are men. Women have all the choice. All right. So what does this mean? Beggars can't be choosers. This is generally used to say that if you request something to be given to you, you should not question what you are given. In other words, people who need something should be satisfied with what they get, even if it is not exactly what they wanted. Okay. Has anyone ever said that to you? Hey, look, man, beggars can't be choosers. For example, I agreed to the deal, even though it wasn't the greatest, because, hey, beggars can't be choosers. Or something I might say to my son or daughter, look, you asked for a snack and I gave you one. Don't tell me now that you want a sandwich. Beggars can't be choosers, you know? All right, that's kind of what I would say to my kids. Yeah, man, beggars can't be choosers. All right. The saying "beggars can't be choosers" was first used by John Haywood. This is way, way back. We're dating back in the 1500s. It's related to another expression called "don't look a gift horse in the mouth." Both of these sayings represent commonly held medieval beliefs. This is 1500s, medieval beliefs that if you requested and received a gift, you should be grateful for it. Hey, go figure. Both of these were created long before there was any kind of government or organized official support for the poor. So if you were poor and you were begging and someone gave you something, you were just, you should be thankful for it. The gift horse proverb was first mentioned in Haywood's book in 1546, his edition of a book called Dialogue. Well, that's the short version, a dialogue, which contained a list of all the proverbs in the English language at that time. And it wasn't until the 1562 edition of Proverbs that the phrase "beggars should not be choosers" was included. And there's a little poem: "Beggars should be no choosers, but yet they will." It's hard to read this this very old English style. Who can bring a beggar from choice to beg still? Yeah, beggars should be no choosers, but yet they will. Who can bring a beggar from choice to beg still? Yeah, if you can understand that, congratulations. Basically, it means you shouldn't be a chooser if you're a beggar, but even if you are, you probably will be a chooser. Now, nowadays we say beggars can't be choosers, but this leads to a misunderstanding in meaning. So some people think that means beggars are unable to be choosers, or beggars ought not to be choosers or should not be choosers. Of course, the original meaning was the latter, the second part. Okay. Now, normally, this is the time when I am a beggar and I sit here and beg you to support me by buying me a coffee. All right, it's still that time, but I'm choosing to be a bit more obvious about it. If you want to support me, buy me a coffee. Hit the link down below. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all the time we have for today. Don't forget to like and share this with your friends, and have an adventurous week. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget your homework. Share this program with one friend. Hit the subscribe button and try to answer one or more of the questions for a chance to be included in the next video. And click over here to see some news. Click over here for talking tips. And always remember, life is an adventure, and that includes your learning.